Welcome to the video on starting an LLC. For the purposes of this video, we're just going to say we're starting it in Florida. So you go to Google, put in there FLSOS for Florida Secretary of State. It's going to bring, this is the web address here, dos.myflorida.com, so Department of State, myflorida.com. See these tabs up here, you're going to go to start a business. Just hover over that until you get here. Now, again, I always suggest a limited liability company, but this video is just for instructional purposes. Before you take a step like this, obviously, you should talk to an accountant, a CPA, or an attorney, someone you trust, someone that's qualified. But for me, I always do a limited liability company with the election to be taxed as an S Corp. I do that for numerous reasons, and we can get into that in other videos. But for the purposes of this video, just filing the paperwork to get your business off the ground, this is how you're going to do it. So you'll left click on that. You'll come here. You see this tab, File or Correct Florida LLC Articles of Organization. So go ahead and left click on that. You're going to read all the pertinent information. Once you've done that, click here, start a new filing. Effective date. The effective date should pretty much always be the day you're doing it, or, there are different times. You can click over here and it'll tell you there are different times where you can list a different effective date. But generally, as a general rule, it should be the day that you're filling this paperwork out. So for the purposes of this, we'll just say July 1st, 2023. Can request a certificate of status or a certified copy. I never do. I never have. I've never needed one. But again, you can click on these hyperlinks to decide if that's pertinent to you. Everyone's situation is different. And then right here, this is important. You see where limited liability company, LLC or LLC has to be in the name of the business. So just for the purposes of this instructional video, we'll just say Widget LLC. The principal address must be a street address. No PO boxes there. Okay. So let's use our famous Maple Street again. And we'll say this is Miami and Florida. We'll just say 33156. It's in the United States. If the mailing address is going to be the same, then you can check this box. If you want the mailing address to be something else, you can go ahead and put it in here. But for the purposes of this video, let's just say it's going to be the same. So we'll go ahead and check that. Now you're going to need a registered agent. Okay. And again, no PO boxes. See that? That's important. You can be the registered agent. All right. So let's say John Doe. So it's last name Doe, first name John. It's going to be the registered agent. And let's say we're going to use that Maple Street address. So 123 Maple Street, Miami, Florida, 33156. Go ahead and sign here. John Doe. You can leave this blank. Your name, correspondence, and email. So we're going to say John Doe, and your email will be johndoe@gmail.com. Enter it again. Electronic signature, Mr. Doe. And since it's an LLC, you're going to put this in here, fill that out. Last name, again, Doe. First name, John. We used 123 Maple Street, and that's in the lovely city of Miami. Zip code 33156. And the United States. And then you would list whoever the other members of the LLC are. Okay. So let's say it's you and your wife, you and your friend, cousin, mom, dad, I don't know, whatever. Just list them all down here. See, you have all this space. So, but let's just, for the purposes of this video, say it's going to be a single member LLC. So it's just going to be Mr. John Doe. If it was going to be his wife, you could say, uh, Jane Doe here. And let's say it's going to be the same street address. So 123 Maple Street. Now, this, whether it's a single member or multi-member, is going to matter more to the IRS than it is to the state of Florida. Okay. But just for the purposes of this, we can say it'll be a multi-member now, as opposed to a single member. If it was just one person, obviously a single member LLC is one person, a multi-member is more than one person. And the multi-member doesn't have to be an actual human being. It could be another business. So let's say John Doe has Widgets 2 LLC. Well, it could be John Doe and then Widgets 2 LLC. Okay. So it could also be that. So now you have a multi-member. Multi-member can be a person, a business, a corporation, another LLC, a partnership. But most people are just going to most people, again, it's going to be an actual human being here, not another. The second entity is going to be a human being, not a business. Okay. So we'll go down here, go to the end, hit continue. So it says, please review for accuracy, make sure everything's right. If not, it's going to cost you to change it. So here's where I hit Control P and I save it as a PDF. Okay. So, and I just file it on my desktop, but we're not going to do that right now. Make sure everything looks good. It all looks good. Hit continue. Okay. Going to hit Control P again. Save it as a PDF. You should create a folder for your Widget LLC corporation docs and filings and everything else, because you're going to want to put a lot of stuff in there. I'm going to do another video on how to get the EIN, and then also how to make the election with the IRS to be taxed as an S corp, because you have to fill out that paperwork, and you only have a certain amount of time to do it. So as soon as you get that EIN, you're going to want to fill out the paperwork and fax it into the IRS. Okay. So here we hit Control P, we saved it as a PDF. You hit continue. Credit card payment. Most people are going to have the credit card payment. If some accounting firms and law firms have the SunBiz e-file account payment, so that cost will be deducted out of their account. But even, quite frankly, most accountants and CPAs just go ahead and we'll pay for this under a business card, or pay for it somehow, and then go ahead and pass that expense on to the client, which would be you. So it'll be the 125 plus. So let's just say you're going to do a credit card payment. So you'll click that, and it brings up this screen. So you go ahead and enter all the pertinent information, click next. I mean, you're just paying for something. And once you have that, again, Control P your way through it, save these as files in your desktop or wherever you want to save it. But I would create a folder specifically for this so that you can save those documents. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button. It helps with the algorithms, and that way we can get it out to more people. So people, when they're starting their businesses, it's one more way for them to save money. And I appreciate it.